Hello, boils and ghouls, and everyone creepy in between. This is another episode of the Average Ghost Mom podcast. Hey, hey, hey. I don't know why I did that. I truthfully don't know why I just did that. I don't know, just felt like it. Oh boy, y'all. What a week. What a week. So much and equally not anything going on, right? Just a lot of little teeny tiny things. I tell you what though, the sun setting so early with the hour change and everything, it's really throwing off my energy level and it really freaking sucks because the sun sets at like 5 o'clock for me and I work till 5:30. And so like before I even get off of work, I'm like ready for bed. I'm like, I don't want to cook dinner. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to I just want to go to bed. Like, and it's really sucking. So, I don't know, I'm gonna have to get my shit together or something. I say that a lot. I feel like that's relatable though. I feel like we're always like, gotta get my shit together. Need to do this. And then it's always it's just repetitive. It's a repetition. We will never ever all at one time ever have our shit together. There will always continuously be something new that causes us to not have our shit together. And I think that's just like the reality of life. You kind of think about it how there's always dishes to do. Even when you've cleaned everything and everything's all put away, by the end of the day, there will always be dishes to do. There will always be laundry to wash. So, like, you might think, oh, I never have my shit together. But really, like, you do. There's just things that are always having to be done? I think about how there's all these books that I want to get read. There's always going to be books that I want to read, you know? I always think about how, oh, I want to do an activity with Ava. There's always going to be days, every single day, at all times, when I'd rather be doing something with my daughter than cleaning, than working, than cooking, than sleeping? So there's always going to be something to do, and you're never going to feel like you actually have your shit together. But as long as, like, you have a place to live, you have family that loves you, even if it's just friends, even if it's just yourself, you have an income, you have your shit together, you know? I don't know. That's my little life advice for the day that you didn't ask for is, you know what? Really, you do have your shit together. And it's just the forces of everyday life that make you think that you don't. So be a little kinder to yourself about it. Anyway, so we are talking about the full moon of December. We're talking about the winter solstice, which for some people is also Yule. And we're talking a little bit about Christmas. Not really, but a little bit. It comes up. It's sprinkled throughout. Um, so let's kind of just jump right in, I guess. So the full moon of December is called the cold moon. And I know this episode is kind of coming out late compared to when the full moon for December was, but I don't make the rules. Actually, I completely made the rules. But the rule is that my episodes come out on Sunday, and I have an algorithm for how I do them. And it's just how life rolls, honey. Okay? So, the full moon was a couple days ago, a couple nights ago. It's called the cold moon, which I feel is very fitting for December. Calling it the cold moon because December's pretty cold if you ask me. At least in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it's one of the hottest days. I wonder when we're having our winter solstice. Wait, 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 wait. The whole the whole globe calls this season winter, right? Didn't I hear or didn't I learn at some point that like in the southern hemisphere it's still winter, but their winters are hot. Like for them, like winter time is sun, sand, beach, pools, and their summers are really it's our winters. So it's cold, summer snowman for them. So they still call this the longest day of their year, the winter solstice. because they still call this time of year winter, right? Am I crazy? I don't know. I should have thought about this. I wasn't thinking about this when I was doing my notes for this episode. So, and I probably won't do any research after I get done recording this. So if anybody knows, will you just let me know. If you know, let me know. But our full moon, the cold moon that happened on December 4th, kind of symbolizes completion, renewal, peace, reflection. It's a great time for shadow work, which all of that makes sense too, because as far as the calendar year goes, a normal calendar year, um, December is the last month of the year, so things are, the year is being completed. Um, Also, in a pagan calendar, Yule is basically like the New Year's. So you remember I said this on a few moon episodes ago that if a moon is in the same month as like a holiday, that the moon and that holiday will have a lot of correlations. So this moon has a lot of correlations with Yule and the winter solstice. Yule and the winter solstice is a pagan's new year, basically, which isn't that far off from a regular calendar new year because this winter solstice is usually about December 20th, December 21st. So then it's only like 10 more days until like a calendar new year. So it's all relative, right? Um, Time of renewal, that makes sense too, because you completed your thing and now you're renewing the thing. The year is coming to an end and we're about to have a new year, you know? Um, Time for peace in that sense is kind of like a time for, because you think about hibernation and how all these animals are sleeping or they're not here right now, and it's just a time of like peace and quiet and slumberness, kind of hence with our natural energy flow when the sun goes down, naturally we're kind of just more tired, more sluggish. But it's a time for, which is, I think it's kind of funny that this is like the time for peace because like the last 3 months of the year, especially December, is the most like unpeaceful because people are stressed with Black Friday shopping, Christmas shopping. People are stressed with Christmas plans. Whose house are we going to be at? When? For how long? Who's bringing what to the Christmas dinner? Oh, I got to get all these gifts for my kids and my family. And I have, it's very hectic. So I think it's kind of funny for today's day and age that the cold moon, the full moon of December, one of the things it symbolizes is peace because, honey, this is like the least peaceful time. But you know how people say, like, nope, I forgot. Something like peace be with you or something like that. Like it's just kind of supposed to be like a thankful, peaceful time, calm your mind. Which, sticky note, side note, is another reason why I say start your Christmas shopping in July, right? Start thinking about this stuff months in advance so when it gets time for the thing, like Christmas, you only have to everything's planned, everything's done, everything's wrapped. We just got to get through it. Like we just got to get through the day. That is, if you're celebrating on one day, because I know with multiple families, you tend to celebrate 2 or 3 times the same holiday in a month. So you don't have to worry about doing anything, setting anything up. You just got to cook it and get through it, and that's it. But you can theoretically be peaceful the rest of the month, you know? Um, it's a good time for reflection and shadow work. So those things kind of go hand in hand. The end of the year, you know, it's a good time to reflect on what has happened. How was your year? I know 12 months, 365 days is a lot of days to like look back on, but like overall, was it bad? Was it good? I would hope it's good. I would think realistically it was probably good. Unless like a lot of people in your family died and maybe you had a house fire and your car was broken into multiple times in a year. I would say everyone's pretty much doing fine. You have a place to live, you know, lots of changes, but change is okay. Change is good. Changes happen for a reason. If the universe says that you are or are not meant to have something, someone, somewhere do, the universe is gonna like work it out how it's supposed to be, you know? So it's a good time to reflect and also to kind of plan on, oh, well, I didn't really like how that went. So in this new year, we're really going to focus on A, B, and C, you know? Reflect on what was, pick out the likes and the dislikes, the pros, the cons, the ups and downs, and keep the pros. And let's see what we can do to get rid of the cons, you know? Or at least try our best to prevent those cons from happening again, you know? Um, which kind of ties in with shadow work, because shadow work is basically a lot of like interpersonal self-reflection, things about yourself. What which I know we can all sit here, oh, I hate this about me, I hate that about me, oh, I hate how I look in the mirror, I hate my job, all this stuff. It's more than just that. That's all very like physical things. That's all very like tangible things. We're talking more about like your traumas, just to jump into it. Like what, like why are you such an asshole? Why are you such a bitch? Let's get into that. You know, there's a lot of different kinds of questionnaires on the internet that you can look up if shadow work is something that you're intrigued by and want to pursue, or if one day you just wake up and you're like, damn, I have no friends and none of my family wants to talk to me. I must be the problem. What do I need to do to fix that? If you ever come to that moment in your life, look into some shadow work, you know? And if you think the questions in shadow work is wrong, I'm going to tell you now you're the problem. If you are just intrigued by, oh, what is shadow work? And you look up shadow work questions or how how to do shadow work, and you read some of the questions and you're like, that doesn't really fit to me. No, you're wrong and you're the problem and you need help. You need to do a lot more introspective work if you don't think you're the problem. I'm just saying. Um, Also, I think kind of personally speaking, this is a great time for strength, resilience, rest, and energy conservation. So I know like with the darker days, like the legitimate darker days, shorter days, um, how people's depression can kind of act up, and so this is like a time to like try your best, power through it, Mostly everyone will be fine. You're going to be fine. Just go sleep on it. Go to bed when it gets dark. As long as it's not interfering with like your relationships and your flow of money, go to bed when it gets dark. Just go pop some popcorn, go watch a Christmas movie and fall asleep. It'll be fine. Okay? As long as your shit's handled, go calm down. It's fine. It's okay. Everybody is feeling the effects of shorter days, longer nights. It's not that your friends don't want to hit you up, it's that they're also tired. Okay? They're all in the same boat as you, and it's okay. If you don't feel like doing something, as long as it's not like affecting the quality of life for you, it's okay. You don't need to do it, all right? It's a time of resilience. It's a time of just get through it. Be strong willed, work on your patience. Everything will be fine. Okay? Rest. Conserve your energy for when the sun starts staying out longer, especially for when summer's here. You know? It's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a pause on life, in a sense. You still gotta go to work because you need money so you can afford groceries so you can eat. But like, you don't need to be going out and doing stuff. It's cold for most places. It's cold right now, okay? You don't need to go out and do stuff. You don't need to dress up every night and put on this skimpy little skirt and these little leggings. Do you realize you could be murdered? And the chances of you surviving longer if you wouldn't put on that skimpy little skirt and those leggings or the tights with the boots and the fur, okay, you would survive a lot longer if you just dressed comfortably and just stayed home than if you went out and got drunk and stumbled around downtown, whatever big city you live near. Okay? Because you might get drunk and you might stumble about, trying to get back to your car, trying to get to the taxi. You might fall over into like a snowbank and nobody will notice you. And then you will legitimately freeze to death because you pass out from how much alcohol you consumed. Okay? Stay alive. Just stay home and stay alive. That's it. If you want to get drunk at your own house. You can do that. You could do that for cheaper than if you went out and purchased all these mixed drinks, all these shots and shit, whatever. Okay, you can get way more drunk at home with your own money buying a pack of beer than you could going out to a bar. And you can just invite your friends over to your house to drink said beer. They can bring their own beer. BYOB, bring your own beer. BYOA, bring your own alcohol. Okay? Pop some popcorn, drink some beer, watch some movies, pass out safely on a couch and not in a bar or in a snowbank, okay? That's all I'm saying. But that's all I'm saying, okay? Rest. Take a break. Take a break from the partying, okay? That's all I'm saying. Um, the colors, which, wink, 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 the colors for the full moon of December, red, green, white. Crystals and stones, ruby, turquoise, smoky quartz. And what are these? Are these like plants or is these smells? What did I write? I think they're kind of both. I think it's just like herbs, which can be smells and can be plants. Holly, mistletoe, bay leaves, cinnamon, poinsettias, chrysanthemums, for some decoration. Love it. Oh, I I didn't write down. I found it on the internet. Please don't hate me. I found this little kind of questionnaire for people if you want to kind of reflect on your year and moving forward. Oh my god, I have so many pictures since I took the screenshot. Wait, I'm too far. I took a screenshot and now I can't. Here it is. Okay. 6 journaling prompts for the December cold moon. Okay, you can literally just think about these answers in your car as you're driving. You don't have to write this stuff down, but you could if you wanted to. Um, okay, question number 1. What lessons have I learned over the past year, and how have they shaped the person I am today? That's very good. I maybe would try and shoot for like one lesson a month or like one lesson every other month that you've learned, like every 2 months. Like, what are things that have happened this year that have shaped you to the person you are now? What decisions did you make based off of personal life experiences that have caused you to be the person you are today? It can be bad things, it can be good things. It can be, oh, well, I saw this kid one time totally hit the curb on his bike and fell over. And normally I would laugh about that. But I want to be more helpful to people. And so I started help, like I got up and helped the kid instead of just laughing my ass off and driving away. You know? All right, question number 2. What if, also, you can pause me. If this is something you like legitimately want to do with me right now, I'm down with it. Pause me and think about this stuff as you go. Okay? What am I ready to release from my life, such as habits, fears, or emotions that no longer serve me? So, this is a really good question because this is kind of what I'm always talking about in the sense of like, you need to let go of things that are not serving you anymore, whether it's people. If there's like the best and most physical example is letting people go. If they're not making you happy, if they're not enhancing your life in a positive manner, if they're not making things easier for you, let them go. Okay? If the person is a burden to you, they're always causing problems, they're never making you happy, they're never helping you out, like, what's the point? You keep your friends that make you happy. Like, if you only keep your friends for entertainment purposes, that's fine. As long as it's good, positive entertainment, that's fine. But, like, I'm a very strong believer that the water of the womb is not thicker than the blood. Wait, the water. Wait, what is it? Blood is thicker than water. Blood of the coven is thicker than water of the womb. Okay, that's the full phrase for those of you who don't know. Water of the womb, no, blood of the coven. Blood's thicker than water is usually what people say, and that's them trying to say, oh, your blood family is thicker than the water of the people that go around you. No, 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 no. You're wrong. Blood of the coven, so the people who you choose to be around, and people who choose to be around you, that bond is thicker than the water of the womb. You don't get to choose, you don't get to decide the water coming into your womb. That is your family, okay? You don't get to choose your family. And if they cause more problems for you than you see fit, fucking cut them off, okay? Unless someone's like your literal lifeline, cut them off, okay? Habits, fears, or emotions, if you have high anxiety and you're really over it, maybe this is the year that you decide to do something about it. Try all the stuff. Try all the stuff, okay? Try all the stuff. Go to a doctor. Try and look at natural remedies online, you know? Um, Habits, this is another good one. The very popular ones is drinking and smoking or vaping. Those are pretty popular ones. I've heard frequently that sitting is the new smoking, and so something I've been doing for myself at the end of this year in preparation of making it a good habit for next year is um me and my dog have been going out for walks. Every morning after I drop off Ava, I come home and then I get her ready and we go out for a little like 20-minute walk because then that gives me time to come home, take a shower, and then get a couple of things picked up before I start work. Um, so yeah, it's a habit. I'm ready to release laziness from my life. Like physical laziness, that's the habit I'm ready to release from my life personally. Okay, question three. How can I embrace stillness in my life and use it as a tool for rest and renewal? See, this is a good question. So, literally just today, Josh and I were talking about some things. Because the past couple days he's been, babe, are you okay? And that's been really bothering me because I know I'm okay. I'm fine. So why do you keep asking me if I'm fine? Because the only reason you ask me if I'm fine is because you feel the vibes, and the vibes say I'm not fine. But I know I'm fine. So for you to tell me that I'm not fine, like, makes me mad. And what we kind of deduced is that my busy bee brain is just a little too vibracious. So I need to learn to not always have a busy bee brain because I feel like I always have to be doing something. Like, I always have a laundry list of things that I want to do, whether it's like important or not. And I always feel like I have to be doing something, and it's hard for me to just sit down. Like, physically, I can sit down and do nothing. I have patience and I know how to be bored, but my brain starts going about all these things I could do. Like, I could clean this, I could clean that, I could get this picked up, I could go through, I could organize this. Like, I always have something to do, you know? I always have some witchy notes that I want to like learn or look into or take down or whatever. I always have books that I want to read. I always have a floor to vacuum. I always have laundry to put away. There's always something to do. And so embracing stillness and using it and learning it as a tool for rest and renewal is something I need to learn this year. I don't know if it's made the New Year's resolution list though, because my resolution list is has like 6 things on it, which is enough. Which is enough. It's enough things for me to do. Is it 6 or is it 8? It might be 8. Anyway, question number 4. What do I feel most grateful for as I reflect on this year? How can I carry that gratitude into the next chapter? Oh my goodness, you guys, something I feel like we all need to learn is to be a little more grateful, okay? That is something that Ava's going to be working on this next year is she's learning patience and she's learning gratitude. And it's hard. Sometimes we forget to remind those, as far as people go, to remind those around us how thankful we are for them. It's easy to expect someone to do something because it's kind of part of routine. It's hard to remember they don't have to do this. Like, people, they don't have to do this. They could put all the load on you, but instead even if they just offer. 'Cause, like, that's one thing is, like, with my little busy bee brain that I have, it's hard sometimes to remember when Josh asks me, "Hey, is there anything I can help you with?" I was like, "No, that's okay, no, I'm good, thank you." But, like, it's not like a genuine thank you. It's just kind of like a ending the sentence thank you. And so, even though usually I don't need his help with anything because it's all like a lot of like personal little things for myself just to do, I should remember or I should be better at like genuinely thanking him for offering to help, you know? Because not everyone gets that. Not everyone has that quality of like, oh, does my significant other need help with something today? How can I help them? How can I serve them? You know? Not everyone thinks like that. And I don't know, that's just like a very physical gratitude though. There's a lot of other things like you can even thank yourself. Like if you remember to put something away consistently, like put your keys where they go every single time. Oh, thank you, self. We need to be kinder to ourselves. Um, Question number 5. What gentle intentions or energies do I want to welcome into my life as the new year begins? That's just a fancy way of asking, what's your New Year's resolutions? What habits do you want to bring into this new thing or lack of habits? What things do you not want to be doing in the next year? Um, and they don't always have to be physical things. They can just be like, oh, I just want to wake up and feel gratitude for my day. It can just be little things like that. And last but not least, question number 6. In what areas of my life can I create more space for growth, clarity, and peace? I feel like that's like very introspective. It's just, like, I think it kind of starts with being able to wake up and say, you know what, like, I don't know everything. I'm not right all the time. And where specifically can I work on recognizing that and being able, A, being more knowledgeable about that thing or area, or B, where can I work on the relationship I have with people based off of that? Like in area of life, I can create more space for growth, clarity, and peace. Okay, so like at work is a very good example, especially if you're a boss over a department and you've never worked a department before and you think you know what's happening, maybe just like take a step back and say, okay, do I actually know what's going on here? Maybe I need a refresher on the process. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting. being being humble enough to come forward and to say, you know what, I don't actually know what the hell's going on here. It takes a really big person to do that. I kind of think like in personal relationships, whether it's like between you and a family member or you and like an ex in like an outside relationship, like friends or like a spouse, I feel like that's always like a good place. It's like, okay, well, do you actually know this person? Or do you need to learn more about this person? Do you actually spend quality time with this person? Um, you know, just things like that. Ooh. And of course, there's also just like educating yourself more about anything. There's so much knowledge in the world, and not enough people are choosing to harness it. Go pick up a book about anything and just read it and learn from it, literally, you know? So that was 6 journaling prompts for the December cold moon, and my little 2 cents spiel about each question. I am really interested if anybody would email me their journaling responses. I don't have to read them on the podcast out loud if you don't want me to. Put that in the email. But I'm genuinely curious about what you guys have to say or what you guys think about this stuff. Um, I'd prefer if you emailed me, rather than like typing a message on a social media platform and sending it to me, just because it's a lot. You can email me at averageghostmom@gmail.com. Please and thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely like, please, like, let me know if you just your thoughts even about these questions or like a different take on a question. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, moving on to the winter solstice. which this year happens on Sunday, December 21st. It's in about 2 weeks from when this episode comes out. Um, it's associated with the holiday Yule. I just did a whole thing about Yule, actually. Today I was writing down my notes to have like a physical copy of it. And Yule is basically just like the celebration of light. In the sense of we've had darker, 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 longer nights, and now finally the days are about to be getting longer again. Winter solstice is the shortest day and longest night. And it why can't I think of the words? I oh, it represents death and rebirth and new beginnings. Um, there's a lot of similarities with Christmas though with all of this too. Um, because said that Jesus was born on Christmas. So, new beginnings. For Yule, things that you can do is you can make a Yule log. You can make wreaths out of natural things outside. It's a time for relaxation, handmade gifts. You can, quote, decorate a pine tree. Huh, wonder what that would look like. Decorating a pine tree in your house. Or outside your house. And it's a great time for homemade meals. Things for decorations, mistletoe, poinsettias, lights and candles, reindeer and stag. Oh, reindeer as decoration in correspondence with Yule? Interesting choice. Lights and candles? Interesting. It's a great time for hot chocolate, apple cider, eggnog, gingerbread, nuts, and dried fruit. Hmm, a lot of similarities here. Weird. Um, Common colors for decoration: red, green, white. Whoa, weird. It's almost maybe like Christmas has that stuff too. Silver, gold, and midnight blue are also popular decorative colors you might see. Crystals like snowflake obsidian, bloodstone, ruby, emeralds, and clear quartz. And then herbs and incense as clove, mint, cinnamon, chamomile, or chamomile, for those of you who know, sage, holly, and nutmeg. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of similarities between Yule and Christmas. I don't need to point everything out. I pointed some things out. I don't need to point everything out, though. We know. I feel like more and more people are coming around to the idea that, like, a lot of these different religions and holidays are all basically the same, just they're based off of a couple different things per religion, you know, or belief. Um, I don't know. That's kind of all that I have on most of that. I do just want to touch on some. What the hell did I write? Oh, geez, sorry. Just some Christmas tradition things that I had growing up because I want to know what you guys did because I'm always like I want to learn more about other people and what they did in their traditions, and I want to be able to like if there's something that I like, I want to incorporate it into my new Christmas traditions that I'm having. So of course we always had Christmas gifts on Christmas morning, that huge tradition over here in America. Um, what is on this? Nothing. Um, So for Christmas, not quite like Thanksgiving, we usually did have breakfast because for my Christmas dinner, we usually just did a ham. But I know lots of people will do ham and turkey again. Um, I also I've heard people will do lamb, and I saw at Aldi a rack of lamb, and I kind of am tempted to get it. But there's a very specific seasoning from Penzi Spice that I want for it because I've had it before and it's really good and we don't have any Penzies up here. I mean, I should probably just order online, but I don't want to have to pay for shipping. I don't know. So, but like Christmas morning, we would have cinnamon rolls. I think there's a Macy's Christmas Day parade, but I could be getting it confused with Thanksgiving Day parade. I don't know. I don't remember anymore. I don't think there was a parade on Christmas Day. We just woke up and did presents. Yeah. And then we'd have either breakfast or like brunch, or we'll do breakfast and like a small kind of late lunch before having the nice big grand Christmas dinner, which basically is a variation of the Thanksgiving dinner. We obviously wouldn't have turkey and stuffing, we would just do ham. There'd be mashed potatoes and a vegetable and pies and starch and yeah, that's kind of basically it. um this year though, I'm starting to lean more into the homemade gifts era side of me. And so this year I went to a small business and purchased some handmade gifts from them for people. So I hope everybody likes them. Of course, Christmas tree. Christmas tree we do right after Thanksgiving. And then for me, I'm very strict about it. The Christmas tree gets taken down within the 5 days before the new year. Like, I will not go into the new year with my Christmas tree still up, because if it's still up, it's never coming down. It's not coming down until it's like somebody's birthday. And birthday season is April, May, and June for me. And I refuse to let my Christmas tree stay up that long. No, ma'am. It's coming down pretty fast after Christmas. Possibly even Christmas Day, depending on, how things fall and such. It was kind of funny because this past year we were in our new house for Christmas, and a couple blocks down from us was a house, and they decorated their yard with Christmas stuff. And they kept their Christmas up and stuff until after Valentine's Day. And every time Ava and I would pass this house, she would see their Christmas decorations like in the new year, and she'd be like, "Mom, they still have their Christmas stuff up." And I'm like, "Yeah? How does that make you feel?" She goes, "That's rude." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And we'd pass it, on different days. She goes, "Ugh, oh my gosh, Mom, they still have their Christmas stuff up." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." She goes, they need to get on it. Like, they're being really lazy." And I'm like, "Well, it's okay, child. Just chill." But it was really cool because in one of the rich neighborhoods just south of us, someone has a corner lot, and like their house is on the entrance of into this neighborhood, so their yard is super extended because they decorate like every inch of their yard with something that lights up, and it's crazy. It's really insane. And their yard's kind of extended because it's the entrance to the neighborhood. So they have like a longer yard, I guess, and like a longer sidewalk area with like the grass patch. I don't know what to call it. But they decorate literally every single inch of grass. There is something that's lit up, and it's so cool. Um Oh, another thing that we like to do is we like to go Christmas light looking. And this year, as long as we have the cousins with us, we're gonna go again this year. And I'll make some hot chocolate or apple cider, and we'll put it in like little to-go cups for them. And we'll go Christmas light looking this year. Last year, Ava got a double ear infection, and we had to go in. I had to take her into the urgent care, and we had to get medicine. And I brought her home, and she went to bed, but the cousins were like, I was like, "Do you want to go Christmas light looking, please? To allow me to have some sort of normalcy of the Christmas season, since my child has a double ear infection?" And they're like, "Yeah." So we all went out and we looked. It was fun. I played Christmas music. It was awesome. And that's how I ended up getting a piece of furniture too. Someone just had a kind of side table, like a magazine rack side table, just out on the side of the road, and I was like, "Oh, score!" So that was cool. Um, And there was one year back when I was like a little kid. I remember. So oh my gosh, I can't believe that I did this. Um, so there was one Christmas that I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. I was just so excited, I guess, and I couldn't stay sleeping. My body woke me up, and it's like, "Oh, well, mom and dad aren't awake yet, but I'm awake." So I will go ahead and I will organize all of the gift. Oops, sorry. I will organize all of the gifts. I'll get all of the gifts out from underneath the Christmas tree and I will set them up in piles per who they're for. So that way we don't have to do that when everybody wakes up. We just all already know. And then I did that and it took me like 10 minutes to do that. So then I just sat on the couch and I just waited. And I just waited and I waited. And it was probably like 6:30 when I went upstairs and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I've been awake for a while and I have the Christmas gifts organized. If we could all just like get up and do them really quick." And my parents were fucking pissed. They were like, "Put the gifts back underneath the tree and go back to bed." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You got it. No worries." So, so I put them back under the tree and I went back to bed. At least that's how I remember it. My parents were not very happy that I had the gifts organized already and that I was up at 5:30 in the morning that year. But see, like if mom makes Christmas breakfast, this is the cinnamon rolls. This is when she gets in and she has time because there's not a turkey bacon in the oven all morning, you know? Um, but what kind of like funny stories do you guys have growing up with Christmas? And being the excited child and wanting to get it done and over with, or ready for the gifts to open. I know some people will wake up and run downstairs and just start opening gifts before everybody else is even awake. I've heard those stories. I'd love to hear your guys' stories. You can email me at averageghostmom@gmail.com. You could send me a message if the story's short enough on Instagram or TikTok. Um, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. You can also follow the Facebook page that I have for my podcast. Um, and you can follow me on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and on YouTube. So, whichever is your favorite platform, please give me a follow and comment on the video letting me know if you're following me or not, and which platform is your favorite. And let me know, do you guys celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate Hanukkah? Do you celebrate Kwanzaa? Do you celebrate Yule? Is there like what other holidays am I missing around right now that is happening in relation to the baby Jesus being born, the light coming back, you know? Or if you don't celebrate any of those, or if you don't celebrate anything, like what do you do? Because everybody has Christmas Day off, as far as I know of. Maybe not like gas station attendants, but mostly everybody has Christmas off, and plenty of people's friends and family celebrate Christmas and other holidays like that. So if you don't celebrate any of those, what do you do? You know? Let me know. I'm interested to hear. So I will quit blabbering your ears and I'll let you go do whatever it is you're doing. So alright. Okay, alright, okay, cool. Love you guys. Bye.